but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me Evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with peasant needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dreams till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Anything we make up or just break up, and the snake hits, get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up if I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle and lesson, your issues ain't your oppression. Never got a question, keep pushing me to progression like I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I'm dope without a need of a
Happy Thursday, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hey, Bravo Nation. It is Thursday night, my favorite night of the week. Why? Because I get to be here with you, and you. And I'm so glad about it. And I hope y'all are too. Welcome to Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I see I'm starting out all nice and calm. Y'all see I'm gonna try to act right tonight. I doubt it's gonna work, but we we gonna give it a try. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So good evening, welcome everyone. Again, it's me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, and it is Thursday night here on the Bravo with Sheila Network. I hope you've all had an amazing day. I hope your week has been stress-free. I doubt it. I know there's struggles in every day, but we are glad that we are at Friday Junior. And one more day to go till the weekend, right? Right. So come on in the room, like, subscribe, share, invite a friend. Come on, say hey in the chat. We see you out there watching, and we would appreciate it if you would just hit that thumbs up button, that like button. That helps us with our algorithm, and it also helps to support the network. So we appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, please, ma'am, please, sir. It would be so kind of you to do. So again, I am your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B. And we are here this month talking about singleness, being single in September. Cuffing season is coming. It's a real thing. If you have missed the last two shows, go back, watch them. I promise you we have been having some kind of fun up in here these past 2 weeks of this month. But we are looking forward to having a great night on tonight. Why? Because it's one of my favorite segments, one of my favorite times and topics and moments on Thursday night. And that is because something happens when men speak, and it is our night for our men of the Men's Lounge to come and conversate with us. Due to scheduling, some of them are, unable to make it, but that's all right. We are here. We are ready to talk and get into some good conversation. So before we do, as we are greeting everyone, we want to take a moment to always pay homage to the curator of this space, the leading lady of the Bravo with Sheila Network, my Auntie Bravo. She is none other than the person of Pastor Sheila Ingram. We give her a big bravo, and we say thank you, Auntie Sheila. Thank you, Pastor Sheila. Thank you, Auntie Bravo, a.k.a. Pastor Sheila, for yielding this space to me every Thursday night to come spend this time with the good folks of the Bravo with Sheila Network. All right, so again, I hope you guys are liking, subscribing, and sharing, because we want to have a great conversation on tonight. Also, while we are not a Christian-based network, While some of us, most of us that share are believers, but we are not a Christian-based network. So we do respect everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions, whatever your moral compass is. We do respect it, and we would love to hear it, your input, your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions. We do ask everyone to be respectful in the comment section. Again, we are big on respect, and we want to honor everyone in their space, whatever their moral compass is. So we want to have good conversation and grow and glean from one another. All right. Also want to invite you to come on Monday nights on the Bravo with Sheila Network. We have my girls, my co-podcasters, Coach Pache and Dr. Elaine. They host Mondays Beyond the Mic, which is another space of amazing conversation. If you have not joined, I invite you to do so. But if you are in need of some spiritual guidance, a little inspiration, something to keep you going throughout the day, a spot of encouragement, you can go right across the street. You can't miss it. I say it every week. It's right across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries channel. And you will find over there, we have the Kabbalah, you have moments of meditation, you have great word being shared. We have my mom who literally pushed me out. I am the fourth of her children. The fourth, I'm trying again, of her 4 children. I'm tongue-tied right now. She is in the person of Pastor Rosa Griffin. She comes on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. sharing a good word. We have the Women of Grace, who is Pastor Sheila, Pastor Rosa, and Reverend Jenny. They are on Fridays at 11 a.m. sharing great word. I think they are back from their hiatus of vacation and preparing to share the word. And there's a host of other amazing, inspirational, encouraging, and blessed words that is shared over there. So make sure you hop over there, like, subscribe, and share that network also. Okay, so we cover it all. We got this side of the street for your flesh, and that side of the street for your spirits. We got everything. Don't worry about it. You're in good hands. So anyway, now that we've got those announcements out of the way, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I don't think there is. So without further ado, I am going to, I see the greatest moderator to ever grace these YouTube streets. The lady Anae Kenya is in the house. Hey, Anae, we can't do no show without you, baby girl. It's good to see you in the place on tonight. I'm so glad you're here. Again, so if everyone who is watching and in here, if you could just like, subscribe, and share. Come on in the comment section, greet us, say hello. We promise it's safe. No one's going to get you. We have security, and we just want to acknowledge you and invite you to be a part of this great conversation. And we have the lead of the Men's Lounge joining us on tonight, as again we are getting ready to get into this great conversation. Oh, what you saying, Nate? Well, thank you. Let me show it off. See, I got a little heart going on. You know me, always gotta have a little bling happening. But thank you. I felt a little, little fallish. Figured, do a little fall, and plus my Jets are playing tonight, so want to represent them. Go Jets. They won. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a football girl. I see the other part of my conversation, my other conversationalists is in the background cutting up. We're gonna bring him up in a minute. But thank you so much, Anae. I appreciate that. Trying to make sure I'm representing y'all right when I come up on here. So on tonight, we are going to be continuing this great conversation and hoping to get the man's perspective and the male input as we are talking about being single in September. Cuffing season is a real thing, y'all. It begins like early October, and it lasts around till mid-February, somewhere or other, before, right after Valentine's Day. And for those who don't know what it is, it's a time, and I'm sure most of us have heard about it, but it is a period of time where people are looking for temporary relationships because they don't want to be in that cold bed alone. Okay, so they start, this is the time you start, setting up your lineup, looking for, some good people to share your space, because nobody wants to be in a cold bed. Everybody wants a warm body. But it is a real thing that goes on. And a lot of people get caught up in it out of their loneliness, out of not wanting to be by themselves, and just, out of various reasons. But we don't want anyone to get caught up in the okie doke. Okay, we don't want you to fall prey to someone or something who is trying to approach you or pursue you just for the winter season. You know, we want to be all 4 seasons type of, you know, relationship. So the past few weeks we've been talking and cutting up, you know, Fluffy Nation unite, stand up. That's right, we starting early. That's right, check on your friends that are 2Xing up. Okay, it's not safe. It's not a safe time. Everybody wants the extra fluff. All right, so without further ado, before I bring him up, let me just say this again. Part of our conversation, our focus has been on, again, singleness. We're talking about single is not a disease and marriage is not a cure. And that's a real thing. Again, because a lot of people don't know how to enjoy and embrace their singleness, but there is great things that happen in your singleness. And the cure, not that there is a cure for singleness, but the resolve for singleness is not marriage. Marriage is not going to fix what you are feeling in your singleness. So just want to say that before we get started. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up the lead voice of the Men's Lounge. You all know him. Y'all love him. I call him the experience and the encounter. Yes, indeed. You already know who he is. He is in the building. He is in the person of the psalmist voice, aka Pastor Chris. You ain't seen him in a minute, but he is here on tonight. Come on and say hi to the people, sir.
What's good, family? It's your boy, the psalmist voice, in the building. Yes, it's been a minute. A lot has changed, but it's about to go down tonight. So get your popcorn, get your favorite beverage, lean in, relax. Shout out to the newly installed and formed Fluffy Nation. I'm not aware of the movement that has taken place since last week, but I want to give my respects where my respects need to be made, because I'm not trying to get bling thrown in my eye. So yes. So with that being said, shout out to Fluffy Nation. Shout out to everybody watching. We're ready to get this party started, right? So hopefully I got some backup tonight. If not, we still going to do it anyway. So of course, pull up a seat. It's go time. Let's get it.
Let's go. All right. Well, yes, Fluffy Nation is it was formed last week. And those of you, if you have been watching, you know, me and the ladies were on these past 2 weeks talking about this topic, and we were talking about being secure in our singleness. And so I don't even know. Last week we left earlier. You know, y'all know at 8:30 it turns into Lady Dawn B after dark. At 8:30, I don't know what happens. I don't care what we talking about. It just always happens. We turn the corner, but last week we seem to have turned a little early, and I feel like it was my fault. I don't know. It just happened. So, you know, I'm gonna try to keep my professional voice on today. I doubt it's gonna happen, but that's where we are. So yes, stand up, Fluffy Nation, unite. You know, that's the 2X and up. You know, that you're in jeopardy right now. Check on your fluffy friends out there, people. Again, cuffing season is a real thing. Okay, the people that passed you by in the summertime are now trying to hit you up because it's wintertime. No, we ain't going for that. We ain't going for the foolishness. I need to be a all-season type chick. I need to roll. You need to roll with me every season of the year. Don't think that because now it's getting cold, you need an extra body, extra warmth. That, you know, no, this fluff comes all awful. You got to be built for it. You got to be built for it. There we go. That's right. Fluffy Nation, stand up. Cheryl Green, hey. In the building, that's right. Don't worry, we getting we have some hoodies made up for the winter. In summertime, we're gonna have Fluffy Nation t-shirts. I'm telling you, you can be an honorary Fluffy Nation member. We're gonna tell you how to do that. But for real, look out and watch out for your fluffy friends. Okay, it's a danger time for us. All right, I'm just saying, hey, welcome, Lady Michelle Roach. How are you doing? Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Y'all like, subscribe, and share on tonight. We are here just getting ready to get into the conversation and get the men's perspective on being single in September. About singleness is not a disease and marriage is not the cure for it. And we want to talk about being secure in our singleness. And the ladies, we were discussing um, what that looks like and what that feels like for us. So I'm gonna ask you, Pastor Chris, start out the conversation. Uh, when you think of singleness, or what? Okay, how do I want to put it? For men, what does it take? I think men are more secure in their singleness than women are. I just feel like y'all are a lot more settled with who you are overall. Women, we tend to nitpick on a lot of different areas of ourselves within and without. So when we are walking alone, we feel less than sometimes and not as confident. So tell me from your perspective, do men feel that what do men okay, the thing is we've all been single. I don't care if you're married now, doesn't matter. We all started out single. No one came into this world married. We all came in here single, period. And if you're married now, you were single at one time. So you can engage in this conversation and we can still learn something from this conversation, because being secure in our singleness is very important so that we are not showing up into relationships and to marriages in pieces, because even in a marriage, there's still an independence that you need to have as a person when you come to unite and become a couple or a team. So share your thoughts from the male's perspective. Do y'all struggle with singleness in the same way, or how do y'all, is there a struggle? Are y'all secure? Because y'all seem to be all right,
Well, that's
and I know it's not for it's not all. I know you can't speak for all, but
yeah, it depends on the man. Some men have the same desire like females. They want to have someone all the time. I had that syndrome. And I was really always back to back to back to back to back to back. And I never really gave myself room to heal or to grow or to do any of that, because I would just jump from one situation to another. Now, is that healthy? No. And of course, this whole thing with cuffing and all this other stuff. Yeah, I had probably had the t-shirt, the hat, the MP3 player, digital download. You can get it now on iTunes, all these things. I was in it. So in this season of my life, I'm learning that, yes, sometimes it's okay to withdraw from diving right into something serious. Oh, I'm not getting in trouble with that word, because you say serious, some people like,
it's okay. You can say serious.
But but when you're in a season, especially as a man, when you're rebuilding, when you're reconstructing, when you're trying to get your life back, so to speak, most men don't have that time to be trying to find somebody in a way where it's like, oh, I got to be cuffed kind of thing. I'm not saying that we don't want it. I'm just saying that sometimes we're in this space. And yeah, sometimes men can be all in that space to the point where they block everything out. It's very hard not to do that, especially when you're a focus driven man. You try not to. But at the end of the day, and of course, we can bring the word, and the Bible does say it's not good for a man to be alone. Now, and I'm gonna get in trouble with this statement too, but y'all know me, y'all know how I get down. So here we go. So pretty much, it has been a big thing or stickler in some, not all, some churches, with this getting married in 3 to 6 month thing. Now, being that we're in the cuffing season, this is definitely a season of prosperity, a season of multiplication, a season where you can find your God appointed spouse in the cuffing season, because there's power in the cuffing season. See, y'all heard sermons like that before. I'm a little exaggerated on that, but yeah, we get this from some of our churches, right? But here's the problem, and I can speak on this because, again, I've been through it. when you are being, it feels as though that you have a gun in the back of your head, right? And when you have a gun pointed in the back of your head, right? It's like, oh my God, it feels you feel unnecessary pressure, and the pressure should not be there. You should be able to have a relationship, and it's okay to be in your singleness as a man, as a woman, developing, evolving with each other, going through all of the different storms, because you can't develop a true relationship without a true courting phase. I didn't know that either until I got older, right?
Good.
So in order for you to have a strong relationship, you have to court, right? We've gone past that. We skipped straight from the courting. We date a few times, and we get cuffed up, and then we in love, and then 6 months later to a year we divorced. That's what happens in some situations, not all. But anyway, I'm throwing a lot in because I'm trying to get it all in. Excuse me.
It's all right. It's just us. You got to find nobody,
Oh, okay. Well,
we can pick it apart. You can slow it down. We can pick it apart. Because I like what you said. No, I like what you said about the rush in bypassing that whole courting season, or that courting time. And you're right, it is so important. And a lot of women don't understand how men feel pressured, or the weight of the pressure that we as women can put on men to hurry through a relationship. Hey, what's up, 204? He's in the building in the comments. That's Minister Donald, my brother. I'm sorry, I had to pause and holler at him. He is a Men's Lounge member. I'm sure he is working still and whatnot, but I'm so glad that you popped on to support. If you want to come on and share for a moment, you know how to do it, you know where it is. Come on and say hi to the good people. It's been a long time since the fellas of the Men's Lounge have been here and been together. Our men are out working hard doing what they do. So, we giving them grace and support, but we just glad we didn't forget about them. Why? Because something happens when men speak and their voices are so valuable. So I love you, big bro. 204. I'm 404. It's good to see you. And thank you. I'm glad I look fabulous. I was trying to do a little extra, I try to be a little extra when it comes to, to the men folk. Try to give y'all a little extra. Just want to make sure I'm representing right up in here. But anyway, I'm just saying. I do what I do anyway. Just saying. But anyhow, back to the conversation. It's a very big point that you made, and I feel like a lot of women, we pressure or push men into this space of hurrying up to get married because we are struggling in our singleness. We feel incomplete. There's spaces of feeling incomplete when you don't have a man, or when you are not, or you've been dating someone for a couple of months. It's like it's dating. A date is just a date. It is one of the things that we have to start to understand, is that date is just a date. And those dates, each one is so important because, like you said, it's important that we get to know each other in all of those phases before you start to make that permanent kind of decision. When you are single, it's actually the most whole I think that you'll ever be. Like, number one is the whole number. It's a number by itself. Nothing is missing, but sometimes we feel in real life that when you are that being single or being that one, there is something missing, and we struggle with, Michelle said, yeah, okay, lady, don't be mad. Don't be mad, Michelle. Don't be mad. And Donald says, hey, say it. We say, the courting phase, I think, has been knocked out. We don't even teach our children. We don't even, we skip that whole phase of relationship. And it's actually very important because that's really where you learn one another. But if you're insecure in being single, how are you going to be secure? How are you going to show up securely in a relationship? You got to know you first. Before, and there's some things that you won't learn until you get with someone. And then the way that you learn it, the way you express it, the way you manage is different with each partner. So there's no one cookie cutter way. But I love what you said about the courting season. That courting phase of relationship is so important. Whether you're in church, out of church, there's just that time of building in relationships that we skip over because we're trying to rush through our singleness.
Mm-hmm. And I just saw a question in our comment, and
yes,
I wanted to go ahead and answer. Well,
let me pop that up. That's from Cheryl, my Fluffy Nation partner. She says, how do we determine a courting phase when there's no biblical content to support it? The courting phase, is that what you're saying?
I believe that's what she's trying to imply.
Okay, because I have a few thoughts on that myself.
Yeah, I mean, see, this is where again, here's the some, not all, that I always like to say, because a lot of I'm not going to say everyone, but there are leaders that seem to have a manual guidebook on the courting phase. And yes, there is no biblical content to support what and how we do it. A lot of these experiences or a lot of these principles are taught based off of personal experiences. Yeah, I said it. And we make it biblical because we are a leader. So now it's quote unquote Bible or biblical, and then we throw different verses in there to make it sound anointed and appointed. But in all actuality, just like when you are farming, right? You have to plant the seed, you have to till the ground, you have to tend to it. You're not gonna get a whole acre of corn just like that, right? See, but we're not taught to marinate. We're not taught to cultivate. We're not taught to do any of these things. We're taught to plant it, water it, 2 minutes in the microwave, J.G. Wentworth anointing, boom, it's there. It is manifested. What? And then you wonder why there's so many complications. So no, there is no clear guidebook on the courting phase. You have to understand you, male and female. We have to understand what we want. Now, some people would like to have a long courting phase to the point where we can get all of the rough stuff. Like I said earlier, get all the rough stuff out, get all the wrinkles out. Now, are you going to be 100%? Is any relationship 100%? Absolutely not. We're all broken people, right? But it takes broken people. Sometimes the missing glass shard that was shattered, which was your heart posture or your heart, that other person probably has the missing piece. So how are you going to find the missing piece from that other person if you never court? I'll wait. Okay, I'm done. See, because I'm about to go off. All right.
Don't
go ahead.
I would just I would just say one thing about determining. Okay, so some things are Bible, some things are culture. So not everything is going to be and just because again, we're not a Christian platform, so there's people from different backgrounds and have different moral compasses and beliefs. Some things are culture, some things are tradition, and we have to remember, biblically, in those days, marriages were arranged. You didn't really have the opportunity to get to know, to pick, or to choose. It was decided for you. We are not living in those days and times anymore. And just because the relationship was picked and chosen for, it was really an arrangement by your parents that was to help either unite forces, to create stronger forces and kingdoms and all of that, so we can't really, in some senses, I want to say, compare those times to these times, because while there was no courting phase because marriages were arranged, that's just kind of what it was. So, I mean, if to go back to those biblical days, then that's good and fine and well. I said to each his own. But yeah, I don't want nobody picking for me who I'm gonna be with for the rest of my life. That's me and God. I'm just saying. I just need the Lord to say, okay, you agree with, like it's good as God, whatnot, and everything else is, but I also want to share what the difference is in courting. The difference between courting and dating is the level of commitment and intention. It says courting is a more serious, formal, and structured relationship with the intention of marriage. Courting often involves parental approval and involvement and can last a year or longer. So in some cases also, the courting phase was, if you're going to go biblically and matching with this, the courting phase was already decided by the parents because they already arranged whatever this relationship where they were approving and arranging and putting their children together. You're not letting your kids just marry anybody. Dating is a more casual relationship with fewer rules and no clear purpose or intention. Dating is often provisional, and it's okay to date more than one person at a time. According to the dictionary, courting is to be involved with romantically, typically with the intention of marrying. So I hope that helps a little bit. In determining the courting phase, it's going to look different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone. It's just a point in time where you decide in your relationship that, this is a person that you want to move from just casually dating with to, again, being intentional and committed, if you want to put it in a more modern day of saying it. So I hope that helps, Cheryl, to answer the question. And I ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share. We are on tonight with the Men's Lounge Captain, Pastor Chris, aka the Psalmist Voice. We are continuing our conversation talking about being single in September. Singleness is not a disease, and marriage is not a cure. Be watchful. Check on your fluffy friends. To courting season. You hear me? Cuffing season is upon us. It's between October and February, where the people are coming to get a little extra warmth, so they're looking for the bigger bodies. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourselves. We're not safe 2X and up. We're not safe, and it's men and women. It's not just women. It's men and women. Michelle Roach says 100%. Donald says absolutely. You must know to know who you are and who's the best fit for you. The only way that you really do that is going through that, as Pastor Chris, that courting phase to see who's really fit for you. If I've never seen you angry, then I can't say that you are the best fit for me. I wouldn't recommend, for me, this is just Dawn 101. I need to see you in all your seasons. I need to see you in all different temperaments, because I need to see if how you act and how you respond and how you react is something that I have the capacity to manage. And how am I going to respond to you in those spaces? Everybody can't handle us in all seasons, So I think that when you get more, you don't always find that out in the dating space, because dating, again, you're going out, you're having a good time, you're enjoying each other, you're learning each other, and you're deciding, is this someone that I want to commit to in a more intentional way by cutting other people off? So you do have to know who you are. And in knowing who you are in your singleness will help you determine who's the best fit for you. And it's not just me seeing you. I need you to see me in all my seasons. I need you to see me when I wake up in the morning and my hair is all crazy. I need you to see me, whatever my nighttime routine is. I'm just saying, I need you to see me when I've had a bad day, what my temper is like, when I'm pissed off, when I'm happy, when I'm stressed, when I'm struggling, because I need you to determine, do you have the capacity to manage me, and bring me back? Hey, Alonzo Hall of Science Video, how you doing? Salute, sir. Salute. Welcome to tonight. I ask you guys to like, subscribe, and share. I hope you are enjoying this conversation so far. We are hearing from the lead of the Men's Lounge, Pastor Chris, as we are sharing on this conversation of singleness and talking about being secure in your singleness. We've heard from the women all month so far. So we are talking with some of the men folk. Why? Because something happens when men speak. And so we want to listen. Come on, Pastor Chris, finishing what you want to say.
Well, yeah, if I may.
Yeah.
I wanted to add some fuel to the fire, right? Okay. You said something about arranged. I'm
Hmm.
gonna get in trouble with this, but I wouldn't be me if I don't
Right.
say
You
it.
stay in trouble, so
Yeah, I stay in trouble. So there has been a movement going on in some, not all, in some of our establishments or churches that the arranged thing is making a comeback. And I think that's a problem, right? Because again, you're not developing anything.
it's
You're
not
being
genuine.
arranged.
Right.
Yeah, you're arranged because of, oh, he's a man, you're a woman, oh, he's a man of God, she's a woman of God, and that's it. There you go. Get married, 3 months, 6 months, you're married. It doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. Even in arranged marriages, and some of them do work, some of them become very successful. Others, you have arranged marriages with benefits. Yeah, I said it. So what's the point? Because you never developed anything as a core structure. So basically, you're operating this thing as a business arrangement. I said it.
Right.
And also, the Al 5 anointing has died. Shout out to Michelle Roach. That's not, sorry. The Al 5 anointing won't work in the cuffing season. It'll be like can't believe it's not butter. It'll come on and it'll run right off. Just saying.
No time I can't make this up.
and,
That's what I'm saying.
and then to add some validity to what I'm saying, right? There's songwriter, right? That says, and there's a song everyone should know, basically in probably in our age range, where it's called Four Seasons, right? These men they sing this song. It's 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, fall. We only want a cuff in the winter, but what happened to the other three? So as I watch 4 seasons change, I still want to be where you are. I still want to experience what you experience. I still want to go through the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, all that stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the song, listen to the song. And I got to give it a drop. Boyz II Men, 4 seasons. You listen to the song. That'll give you some inspiration right there. But anyway, back to you. I'm done with my ranting. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. No, and you're right. And you should want to be with someone in all 4 seasons. And you should want someone who not just who wants to be with you in all 4 seasons and not just want to, but actually be there and actually hold you down, not change their view or their thoughts or their feelings and their opinions as time goes on, because they're seeing different sides of you and they are seeing different elements of who you are. Now, it's important that we become secure in our relationships. Again, you got to be true to who you are. And again, a person doesn't mean that it's always going to be great and it's always going to be wonderful, but it does mean I'm gonna ride with you through it all. So before we continue our conversation, I see we have a special guest in the house on tonight. I'm going to bring him up and I'm going to let Pastor Chris introduce him, because this is the Men's Lounge night and he is a personal friend of his. So I'm going to bring to the stage Mr. Corey. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well. How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, and thank you for joining us. Come on, Pastor Chris, introduce him.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother from another mother. We got the same father, which is Jesus Christ. Me and CT have known each other for a while. We've never seen each other face to face, and this is the funny part about it. Every time we talk, something happens. We don't be talking for months. And next thing you know, we having a 2-hour conversation about whatever it is. But I thank God for this man, because he's seen me in my lows. He's experienced my lows. We've butt heads in the past. But in order to be real men, sometimes you got to get over your own personal hangups. And sometimes you got to realize that another man's been through life and another man's been through things. And sometimes we got to listen. And in order for us to mature as men, sometimes we gotta put our egos aside. It's okay. I mean, we can still pump chests and all that stuff. That's great. But at the end of the day, what CT brings, we got this instant chemistry. So y'all might get it tonight. So like I said, get your popcorn, get your beverage ready. He's my other toxic twin. So we got toxic triplets. So y'all be ready. So it's about to go down. So what's good, CT? Welcome to the Men's Lab.
Man, glad to be here. You know, I thank God for the invitation and just the words of gratitude and encouragement you're giving, and you know, God, I believe this is a God connection with me and brother Chris. You know, we have known each other, man. It's been some years now.
Yeah.
And you know, like any true friend or true family, you don't have to see them every day or even every year, but when you do see them, it's like you never even separated, you know. And that's what I instantly had with brother Chris, not even knowing him. I forget even how we connected. I think it was on Facebook or something, but but just the situations he was going through at the time, I was going through at the time, because you know, you was in my lows too when I was living in my truck or my car. You know, I forgot about that, you know. So it's like, man, you gotta have that person there, somebody I ain't even know. You know, all the family that I had or friends that I had, I don't have no more. But somebody I don't even know was my listening ear, you know, and then he was going through something while I'm going through something. So I'm encouraging him while he encouraging me, and you know, it was just good, you know. And I just thank God for the connection.
We are glad you are here tonight. Thank you for joining Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, on the Sheila Network. We are happy that you could make it on tonight. We paid, you know what, just cutting up already. To join us in this conversation, we want to introduce your voice to the people, and we do know probably by the end of this, you are welcome to join us anytime. The Men's Lounge is a space where I'm the only estrogen that is up here. Normally, it is the group of men. We talk about topics from the male's perspective, and the women, we just rest in the comments. We sit back and listen, because you know, it's not too many opportunities that you as men get to speak, and women are quiet and you are uninterrupted to share how you feel. So that's the intention of this space. So welcome. Thank you so much, Corey T, for being here.
Great to be here.
I'm glad you are too. So we've been talking about being single in September. A lot of people struggle with singleness. And cuffing season is upon us, that time of year where people intentionally look for someone to, you know, share their space with during the cold months. They're looking for a little extra fluff and body heat. So, you know, been warning our fluffy nation, you know, our 2X and up people, be careful, check on your fluffy friends. It's not safe for our kind right now. You know, people approaching you for, temporary love. And if you can't be there during the summer heat, you definitely can't have my heat during the winter. I need all 4 seasons. But we want to help people understand that singleness is not a disease and marriage is not the cure. A lot of us rush into relationships and bypass embracing our singleness. So the women and I have been cutting up all month long for past two Thursday nights. So tonight we wanted to hear from the men and the male's perspective about what that journey of singleness looks like. And do you, as men, rush through it, or attempt to rush it? Are you afraid to be alone? You know, as most, I don't want to say most, as some women are, you know, and what does that singleness feel like for men? Because men, y'all feel things differently. You know, you absorb things differently than women do. So we want to get your thoughts.
Well, I think I've answered the question already, but I think it would be appropriate because CT has a very his encyclopedia for subject matters are vast. So this interesting word of cuffing season, I think we've heard it on different platforms as well. You know, it seems to be a popular thing, especially around this time of the year. We have Thanksgiving and Christmas and things like that. So of course, you know, you want to have, you know, your person. So yeah, you know, it is what it is. But But yeah, as far as that goes, I think I said what I needed to say. I'm quite sure Corey could add some
Yes.
volume.
We want to hear from our dear friend, our newest voice.
All right. Well, man, I would have to think back in my archives because, I believe, well, I know that every individual is different as far as relationships go. And man, as far as my knowledge on relationships, now right there, Chris, he hitting it because I got you. You won't be married, I can tell you that. You won't be divorced, I can tell you that. You won't be engaged, then almost married, and I can tell you that. And I've been married 3 times, divorced 3 times, a whole bunch of, sexual relationships with women. And it's something you said about being alone. I'm at a point in my life where I'm content with being by myself and not needing that body in the bed or on the couch next to me, not needing that body in this place. I actually like this place with no body in it now, but that's all glory to God, because I couldn't do that on my own before Jesus Christ came into my life. And, I don't know the platform, but that's my conversation, because God has shown me it's only by him that I can do the impossible. And I tried for over 40 some years to do it on my own. And it wasn't until God opened the eyes of my understanding and taught me how to be content with being alone and getting to know myself. And then now I done went to the other extreme, because I would rather be alone than with anybody. And so now God got to teach me that balance, because when you're at such a place of peace, anybody that come into your life and disrupt that peace gotta go, because you messing up my peace that I had. Before you came, I had peace. Now that you here, I don't have peace. So I need to remove the object that don't belong.
Your peace.
And so I'm trying to learn that, because in relationships or even friendships, you have contention. But when you by yourself, you don't have that. You can watch what you want. You can talk about what you want. You can dislike Donald Trump or love Kamala Harris or love Donald Trump. But when you got people, now you got conflict. Why you like him? Or what? You know what? I ain't had that when you wasn't here. So God is teaching me how to be around people again. But as far as cuffing season, it I believe it is genuine. But I don't think it's just September, praise God. Because when I was out there, it was whenever I wanted a body. But going with what you're talking about, you do have that season, though. You're correct. When it get close to winter, I think y'all a little premature, though, because for me, it was in November, you cuff somebody for the holiday season. And then New Year's, the person you want to go on New Year's Eve date with is who you cuff in November, October. September, that's a little too early for me.
September really is it? Well, according to the definition, and I hear you. Everybody has a different timeline, but it's always in that colder weather type of season. September is really the time. We're talking about it now because technically by the book, they say usually the spike usually happens in October. So like right now it's the prerequisite. This is where people is like scouting out. Scouting, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Okay, so I ain't crazy. I know I'm like, this is early. But
we trying to help the fluffy people stay, stay safe. Stay safe, fluffy people. Tell the men and the women, like, if you start hearing your fluffy friends start talking about, this guy, this dude's approaching me, or this chick, she was talking to me the other day, she brought me tea, coffee, whatever. Now she started bringing, like, okay, hold up. Was she bringing you juice and Gatorade in the summertime? Why she starting to bring it to you now? What's going on? Now she's feeling on your muscles. Now she wants to sit close to you at work. What we doing? Right? Was she trying to chill with you at the beach in the summertime? Be safe, fluffy people. That's all I'm saying. Be safe out there.
Because it's not somebody new. This is somebody who you knew in the spring and the summer.
It can be, but your approach a lot of times when it comes to cuffing season is during those times they may pass you by.
Right.
But now that the winter is changing, summer, those we in the street seasons are over with. Because in the winter, you don't really go out as much as you used to. I mean, up here in New York, it's not as live and popping during the winter because anybody trying to be out here in the snow and in the cold and all that.
In Chicago, so it's the same here.
You know what I'm saying? So, you ain't trying to do that. So you got to be real careful about who you choosing to be with in the winter. Because like you said, this might be a time where, you won't be snowed in with the wrong person.
Right.
You said they disturbing your peace. Now you ain't got no choice.
Right. And that's, and so like I was saying, that's when they start looking, because if you mess with somebody late October, November, you're going into the holidays. You're going into Thanksgiving, Christmas. And so you're looking for somebody at least for 3 months, 4 months, and they go looking for a particular person. So you all are dead on. It's a real thing.
Yeah. Then it ends around Valentine's, like mid-February. By that time,
break up. Ain't no Valentine's Day gift.
You see what I'm saying?
I said 3 months.
Right, I'm saying you're right. But that's why we're trying to say, trying to help you to be secure in your singleness, because we make a lot of bad decisions because we don't know how to deal with being single in this space. Like you said, you're at a point right now where you are now comfortable. You're the opposite of where you were. You're comfortable. You found peace in your place by yourself, and not just physically, but it sounds like internally you have found peace within yourself by yourself, knowing that there's nothing missing, there's nothing lacking in just who you are. And with what you come with. So now when you come out of this season and you said you're looking, for God to teach you how to balance now, how to reacclimate yourself to sharing yourself and your world with other people, you're going to come out of that differently. You're going to be looking differently. You're going to be guarded and more protected, in a different way than you were when you went in, because of what you gained in this single time. A lot of us keep repeating the same cycles because we don't take and embrace this single space that you're talking about, which is why we end up.
Yeah, and I had to, like I said, God had to put me here because I never let anything grow under my feet. I left one woman Thursday morning. I was with another one Thursday night. There was no time to be alone. And, that time when it did come where I was actually alone and I looked and it had been a week, that was unprecedented. I was like, man, I've been by myself for a week. So it was like an unfamiliar space. I liked it, but I didn't. But then God began to talk to me, and I thank God for that, because he showed me you have never been by yourself. You always feel that void with somebody.
Right.
And or a body. And
right.
I was in my 40s or something. I was in my 40s. Because I got married at 19 and then I got divorced and married again at 22, because I always liked relationship, and I got married again at 22. So I always had someone. Then when we got divorced, I'd be dating until you find that one. For the record, here goes a sidebar. A man know if he want to spend his life with you.
Okay, this is good. This is good talk, sir.
And it don't take no 2, 3, 4, 5 years. He know very early if you the one he could spend his life with. From little things you do, little things you say, little nuances about you, he already know. That old stringing you along for all that time. So it depends on what you're looking for, because the women that I married, all 3 of them, I could have spent my life with them. But as I grew older and allowed the frustrations of life and then I didn't have Jesus Christ in my life. So if you didn't got God in your life leading you, you'll walk away from anything. Praise God, because you don't have the strength needed to endure those afflictions that you're going to get in the marriage, whether God is in it or not. The affliction is going to afflict you in the marriage. And, it's easy to just walk away without Jesus Christ. But when God is in it, this Holy Ghost convict and all of that. So anyway, my last marriage, I after the fact, I would that we would have stayed together. I don't say I wish, but I saw after that I could have stayed, and we should have fought for that marriage of 15 years. We were married 15 years. Okay. And then to just let it go because of 2 years. But that was like 11 years ago. Anyway, that wasn't the one Chris was involved in. He was involved in the third one when I was living in my car. That's when God came and just changed my whole life. So that was 2018.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
2018. And right before her was when I was by myself during that time and learning myself and wasn't thinking about no woman. Then here she come on Facebook with her fine self. And I noticed her because I wasn't noticing women. I was on Facebook for 3-4 years and I wasn't thinking about no woman, wasn't noticing no woman. And not to get off topic, but one day I saw her. I was like, man, she's beautiful. Didn't say nothing to her. 3 days later, she was in my inbox. Out of all the multiplicity of people, the one I said was beautiful in my inbox. The devil, you see how the devil works? No, I'm just.
He set up because he put the light and start on this. And he said he chose fiery darts to see what's going to hit. That's what had happened.
Yeah, well,
like because September is actually, you know, to put it in a men's perspective, we all know men that it's football season, right? So before football season, you have preseason, right? So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to the cuffing season. You have
Go
preseason, huh?
I was saying go Jets since you were saying football. Sorry.
Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, so
he said, boo.
Just the hater.
But yeah, so you have to have your preseason, and then we have your regular season. So regular season goes into October. There you go. So this is why it's important. And again, CT was right in regards to when you finally, as a man, figure out that peace is more valuable than losing more hair that you don't even have. I'd rather have peace. Just saying. And I was in the same phase, and that's why we get along. We both been married 3 times, both been in the same season. It's funny how we're very similar, you know, and it's like we're both in this phase now where we're becoming who God called us to be. God is using our experiences. He's using our testimony to help other people, other men, and be as transparent as possible to make sure people know that I am authentically who I am now, not because of me, not because of my education, not because of where I work, not because of this and that. It's because I surrendered. And I understand we're not on the Christian platform, but I'm going to give you some Jesus anyway. But at the same time, for the source of every man of his whole change, it all revolves around him finally saying, you know what? I had enough. I got multi-platinum awards for being the best cuffer of the year, all this stuff. I've done all these things and I'm still a hot mess. So what can you do for me, God? Because I can't do it no more. So when we finally say I do to the King and he does something to our heart and changes us for who we used to be, and we can talk about it in a way where we're not bragging, because some people are like, oh, you just bragging. It ain't about bragging. It's about telling you, most men, we go through this phase. We do. And when we grow up and we realize that there's a lot of things that we could have done right, we get it right. And in most of us, we don't get it right till we have that space of peace. Right. We have to have that seclusion. And when we're able to be comfortable with that, like, man, I don't like that. Or, man, I don't like when a woman does that. Or, man, I don't like when you get to know what you like, what you don't like. Right. You don't have the smoke and mirrors in your face, the perfumes and the hair and, all this stuff that, and I'm not, please, ladies, don't inbox me. I'm just saying. There's some things that you put your perfume on and stuff, and it'll distract us from really seeing, it'd be all foggy and stuff. We can't really see what's really going on. Okay, let me stop. Anyway, that was my point. Back to you. I'm done.
We're on the Men's Lounge. You only get this stuff with the Men's Lounge, y'all. Like, subscribe, and share. We are talking with Pastor Chris and our special guest, Corey T. I'm sorry, it's not even 8:30. It's getting there. We're talking from the men's perspective about singleness, and I can't even get my words out.
That's what he do.
The men are sharing, no, but it's true. The men are sharing on tonight because, it's important, ladies, that we think men want one thing. We think men don't feel certain things. We think that we're the only ones who are struggling through different seasons, and it's not true. We seem to think it may, in some senses, be easier for both men have shared their personal stories and journeys on tonight, all the similarities, and I love the transparency. What I love also about what you both have shared is that neither one of you, even in the midst of all of the ups and downs of what you've gone through, still believe in love, still believe in partnering, still believe, in that teammate type relationship, and you have been, that time alone in your singleness has allowed you to look at where you as a person, not blaming the relationship or all the things that went on, but that self-reflection moment that you have had. Sometimes women, we don't think that men take those self-reflective moments, and then we get upset because while it may not have worked out with your prior, relationships or marriages, on your next one, now that you've had that gap of time to figure you out and to see what you like, to know what you don't like, how you want to be treated, how you want to treat, a woman in your life. And now you go on to what is next for you. I'm not going to say the next one because, it's not like taking a ticket and just who's next. But, you've taken that time to make yourself solid in who you are. So you show up differently in your next relationship. Trust and believe sometimes this is why women, we get mad and bitter real quick. Or, whoever the last one was, because well, we're thinking that you didn't show up for me like that, or you didn't commit to me like that. But a lot of times, we don't understand that space that y'all take to deal with yourselves, and some men don't. And it's easy to jump from one woman to the next woman, and leaves women feeling like we didn't matter to you in that time that we spent. But that's not always the case. It's just that you didn't take that time to be single and reflective. So I appreciate the both of you sharing your truth and your journey. And I hope it encourages some women to look differently and understand that not all men just jump from one woman to the next. Men are now taking the time and speaking up about it, to take time to be with themselves. And if a man is telling you, I just right now am trying to get me together, don't push. Allow that man to be who he is and take that time. Be his friend. Don't press up. Don't come in with the extra Chanel on. Don't put on the tighter leggings that suck you up and this, that, because women, we do stuff like that, because we want to make sure that you see us. Mm-hmm. And instead of respecting that space of singleness that you are working through, we try to, we try to make sure we're not missing our moment. So that happens sometimes. So I just want to thank you both for sharing. Pastor Chris, you're about to, you want to say something?
Yeah. You said that's important, right? When a man goes through a transition in his life, and y'all already know my story, but I don't have to go through that again. But when a shift like that happens, when you've dealt with something in your life that was tragic, I don't care who you are, female or male, it's going to change you. And if you don't have someone that understands that, mm-hmm. and can be a friend and step back and allow you to go through that change and shifting in your life, that's a problem. And then you're trying to do all these other things, people trying to tell you to do this and do that. Oh, you need to stay this and stay that, stay strong, stay this. No, I don't feel strong right now. I'm angry. I'm upset. I'm not in this booed up mood right now. I'm not even feeling it at this point. I'm ice cold. I appreciate you being here, but at the same time, I really don't want anybody around my space right now. See, I'm not saying that to be selfish, but
no, it's real.
We hear these comments that men aren't honest, right? And then when we are honest, it's too honest, or you're being too rough, or you're not being sensitive to my feelings and all this other stuff. Okay, so what do you want from me? You want me to keep lying to you and say, oh, boo, I'm good, I'm straight. Now, when a man says I'm good, I'm straight, we ain't good and we ain't straight. We just trying to move you. We trying to push you out the way. Yeah, we just like, okay, just get over here. But I ain't good right now. When you can just, okay, he ain't looking for me to be his boo right now. He needs a friend.
Yeah.
When you can do that, that's huge for a man. I don't care how fine you are. If you can hit the switch and know when to be the friend, and you can turn off your emotions and be all, well, you don't talk to me, you don't hug me no more, and all this other stuff. Look, the man's going through a transition in his life, and you worrying about him hugging you and cuffing you. Yeah, this is a little hard, ladies, and I'm sorry. But sometimes when we're being honest with you and we're telling you repeatedly and you're not getting the hint, and then you're saying we're being insensitive and we don't think about your feelings, it's all about you. No, it's not. When we are telling you what's wrong and you don't listen, it's not our fault. I'm done. Let me stop.
Yeah,
that's true. Come
Yeah.
on, Corey. Come and share, Corey.
Well, I mean, because you guys are touching on so much, I was looking for a pen. I was like, man, I need a pen because they come about.
Oh yes, when you come on here, you're gonna have to bring a pen and paper. You're gonna have to
because
we have real talk. We have real talk here. We keep it straight, no chaser. You know. And I want to say before you do share, Corey, while this is not a Christian space, as I always share in the beginning, though most of us that are on this platform are believers, so God, and I was telling God is who is our moral compass. And I'm a God girl, so you're always going to get some Jesus when you get me. But we do respect and we honor everyone's feelings, opinions, whatever your belief is, whatever your moral compass is, we respect that. So when we're referring to God for us, put whatever it is whatever your moral compass is in that space. Grab the principle, because we try to be sensitive to everyone's feelings, but we're speaking from our space of experience. And for us, it's God. So I just need to throw that back in there. Like, subscribe, and share, y'all. Come on, Corey T. Share with the people.
Definitely. Well, one thing you touched on, or I believe it was Chris touched on, you touched on it when you said a woman feels because a man jumped in another relationship so swiftly. That was something I had wanted to comment, that you didn't really care or this and that. I had that exact scenario happen on one of my engagements. I was engaged to be married to someone, the one woman that I truly loved and the one woman that I truly married and didn't. We was like in the 12 year on and off breakup, because we were friends first. And that was Brother Chris was talking about. I was going to say that's how a lot of relationships start, where I can tell you anything and there is no emotional reaction. I can share anything with you. And that's how we begin to gel with this person. I can't say that with my girlfriend or my wife, because I tell her what I tell you, she going to react out of emotion. She going to react out of this relationship. And so that's how a lot of relationships start with someone else, because you confiding in this person the way you can confide in your mate, be it male or female. Many women have a brother that they confide in with all them details. Many brothers have a female outside of their relationship that they can share all them details that they can't share with this significant other. And then that love for that person starts to get there. But anyway, this is how me and that young lady met. 2 years of just conversing where we met. She was in a relationship. I was in a relationship, and we met in the gym. She was working in the gym. She was new. She was a little cute girl. And I walked in. I know details on my life. I know all the details of every woman I met. And because a lot of us are still friends, but, and I remember I was on the phone, and she, with that attitude, something else you said, but I'm sorry. I'm all over the place because because I don't talk to people about intimate details of my life.
And so, but you hear and you sharing.
Yeah, so much. But
you speak when you're helping somebody.
But see, the one, you're gonna attract who you're attracted to. So she had an attitude, you don't go over there. I'm on the phone. I'm like, who are you talking to? And anyway, I come back out. I say, "And you pretty." I didn't even notice that because of the attitude. But anyway, and because I used to always wonder why I'm always with these women with these attitudes, because that's what I was attracted to. I was attracted to that toxic, argumentative, gonna be a terrible relationship. God trying to tell you something, get away from her. But that's what I was, and because I love the confidence that those type of women have. I guess it's the confidence in themselves that I can talk to anybody. I don't care who you are, and I'll be the one. Well, I can break you down because I see you got a soft spot. And so we both playing this game. Anyway, I'm saying that to say that individual became the person I fell in love with. And so every relationship I had, if she would call, it doesn't matter. I'm gone. And the same with her. Well, I wouldn't call her. She'll be in a relationship because I was trying to respect the relationship. But she would call me in her relationship. I'm like, where your guy at? She's like, I ain't think about him. I'm like, okay, I ain't either because I ain't care back then. But
Got it.
Every man and every woman is what I'm saying. Not every, but many have that voice on the side, male or female, that you confide everything in, unrestricted, that you can't say with your mate or you're afraid to say with your mate. If y'all not in that place where y'all could talk about anything, because you weren't, man, if I tell her this, she gonna respond like this. I ain't trying to hear that. But you'll go tell that other person those very words without even thinking about it. And I had found myself in that, and both of you all were speaking that, and I found myself in those situations over life. And it's finding myself in those situations that got me to the place where I don't want all of that. I want peace. Right. And when I do get in another relationship, we gonna confide in each other. We gonna have a pact that there is no outside ear that you listening to apart from God. If you ain't talking to God, you're talking to me. Right. Because, or if you do share something outside, you're comfortable enough to share the same thing with me. And that's it. We don't be comfortable sharing that with our significant other. But I can tell my girlfriend. That's what a lot of women mess up, because they tell their girlfriends a whole lot of stuff that they don't tell their mate. Mm-hmm. And once their mate hear you talking on the phone or wherever about some things personal in your life that he doesn't know, but your girlfriend knows, that puts something up in him. I can't trust her. Okay, she's not in this like I think. He may never say that to you, but you done hit him with something. He heard you say something intimate that he don't know about. And you messed up and you don't even know it. You don't know why he acting funny later. Because now you done chipped some away. Oh, I can't trust you. And he may never say it to you.
That's true.
No, that's good. That's good. And I hope, ladies, we are leaning in, like, subscribe, and share. The men are talking on tonight. Say something happens when men speak. We have free flowing conversations here because you never know what people really need to hear. So we're not like stuck on any one space. And all of this does still tie into you being secure in your singleness. When you get whole in who you are and you are confident in who you are, you can show up in a relationship and be able or be willing to have those hard conversations, because a lot of times we don't share those things because it's too much at risk, and I feel like love isn't love until it's tested. And your love is only as strong as the weight that it can bear. So I have to trust that whoever I'm with, that I can tell you the hardest part of whatever it is that I'm going through or whatever it is that I'm feeling. And I have to let the chips fall where they may lie, because either you're going to be able to handle it, hear me out, no judgment. And it works both ways. We as women have to show up in that space for men as well. I have to be able to be that safe space for you where you can come and share and me not take everything personal to heart, be wounded, not let you finish your sentence, go off in the midst of you sharing because you said one thing in this sentence that's triggered me, that upset me, but I didn't let you finish the rest of the sentence. So I don't know how you're going to end it, but instead I'm just getting mad at the one point that you said, but there's a whole lot more to the story that you have to share. When you become, I know for myself, I've done the work. When I tell you, I'm similar to you both. God moved me from city life to country life, like for real. Like I'm in some mountains, and away from everything and everyone, because I needed to be by myself. I needed to detach from a lot of toxicity. I didn't necessarily want to be by myself at one point, but at the particular point in life where he did it, it was prime time for me because I needed to get to myself. And I needed to be able to face me so that I could stand confidently. I think women or men or people, because you were sharing about your attraction to women who are toxic, so to speak, you know, because you're saying of their
previous attraction in the way past.
Right. No. But I'm saying, but you know, but you brought up. But I just want to say, you know, in relation to that, a lot of times, to be honest, women who are in that space are not as it's not confidence. It may appear as confident, but it's not confidence that's guiding them, that's really governing them or leaning them. It's really fear.
I found that out later.
Yeah, it's masked as one thing. You know, because you're loud and because you're this and you're not taking it, and you know, you're very dogmatic about stuff and boisterous. But women, we become like that. We come out of the gate like a pit bull in those situations when we have not dealt with our hurt. And we do that up front because we don't want to be hurt again. So, you know, a lot of times that's what happens. And it comes off as, yeah, I got it together and I'm confident, this is that. And man, you know, they'll be like, Dad, you know, she really doing, you know, like, what's up? It's like, but no, it's really her fear and her wounds that are speaking, you know.
You find out later as you get to know, oh, okay, you're real insecure.
Mm-hmm,
you know,
because you haven't taken the time to settle in being by yourself and getting to know you and building you up. I know Pastor Corey, Pastor K's about to go. Come on, sir. Come on, comment. Say what you're saying.
Now, I'm going to say this. The Quita anointing is not confidence. It's insecurity.
Yeah.
Because there is no way in the world I'm having a calm conversation and in 2.5 seconds you going off. That's not communication. But my man don't talk to me. My man don't confide in me. Well, I guess so. You need deliverance, because I'm not going to be arguing with you. I'm not going to be especially when we get to a point of our lives where we don't want all that drama. And the old saying, save the drama for you. Yeah, I don't want to deal with. We can't have a conversation, or if we can't have an adult conversation without all the queediness going on, then I think we both need to just end it right here. You go over there, I'll go over here, and we're done. That's the problem. We attack each other instead of listening to each other.
True.
Because we were so busy trying to cuff instead of court. So now we cuffed. Now we together, and then we don't listen. Now we're having a hard issue or a hard time. Now we're yelling at each other versus talking to each other. So the honeymoon phase is over. Now the real deal comes in, and now we can't handle it because we both still got issues, but we were so busy trying to cuff each other because we didn't want to be by ourselves. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. That's another cause and effect from cuffing too early and not getting yourself checked, men and women, just saying. And to comment on Mrs. Roach's 2 comments, first and foremost, the cologne, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? And second, I don't wear tight shirts or pants. I'm done.
Yeah. But I never made my point about getting into another relationship so soon and they think you don't care. Actually, mine was the opposite because of the wound from that relationship of the person that I loved, and we were engaged, and we called off the engagement, you know, during Christmas. And I was married Christmas in May. So from January to May, I met somebody 3 months and was married within 5 months. And that was from the pain of that relationship. And that's what, you know, as I did get to talk to her, I began to explain, because she's like, how could you just marry somebody? You just met him. We've been together all these years. And I was just looking at her because I thought you were gone. We were engaged and we didn't get married, and I didn't even care no more. So I was just doing something, you know. And a lot of times men are manifesting pain and hurt in being with this other woman so quickly.
Right.
The pain of losing you, but never tell you that. But that's the reaction. That's the manifestation of that hurt. They with somebody else. And I thank God for bringing me out of that cycle of circumstances that I was in. Because it was, like you said, it was a cycle. You know, I leave somebody with somebody at 8, leave them with somebody at 10. That's that cycle. I always had somebody right there. I had a choice of 14 different women. A friend of mine had to let me know that because the devil had me. I didn't know. He said, man, you got a baseball team. I said, what are you talking about? And then as I sat and I counted the women, I called out to God. I said, God, I don't want this. And God is so real. Yeah. Because after I cried out, I said, God, I don't want this life. Because the devil gave me that life of all them women here, all of them you can have, just serve me. But when I cried out to God, people wouldn't answer my pages. People wouldn't page me or call me. People wouldn't speak to me. These people are my friends now. But when I cried out to God, he ended all of that. And I thank him so much because I couldn't do it on my own. I didn't even know what I was in. I give God glory.
That's heavy. You don't know a lot of times when you're in it. And it comes to a point you have to get to the point of knowing. And I believe that when you get tired of being sick and tired, because you can only go through that cycle but for so long, because you end up at the same point every time. And in the midst of it, you're looking for something and you don't realize what I'm looking for, I have to first find within myself, which requires me to be still. Because if I allow you to fill me up, then what happens when you're gone? Who am I outside of you? You know, I have to come full. And that's the thing about being single. I said earlier, you know, the number one is whole all by itself. It doesn't have any other components with it. It's just whole and stands alone. There's nothing missing, nothing lacking. And we have to understand in our singleness, we have to make sure that we are whole, that there's nothing lacking and there's nothing missing, so that we're not looking to band-aid our situations. We're not looking to band-aid our hearts. We're not looking to band-aid our spirit. We're not looking to have things that fill the gap, because once something is broken and you find something to fill the gap, it doesn't fix it. It's just temporary, you know. And what happens when what you use to fill the gap, then that cracks. They got to find something else to fill the gap.
Go find another one, just like the other one, or not like the other one. And it because mine was women. I would, like you said, what happens when they leave you? Another one call. What you doing? Just that quick, because you missing what you said. You got a void, and
the void is within you, and the only person that can fix what's in you is you. And when you come to terms with that, a lot of times I think that also, because we're talking about singleness is not a disease, because a lot of us feel like that, and marriage isn't the cure. We're rushing to get to someone because we think we're missing something by being by ourselves, and that's not the truth. When you are single, you are the most whole that you will ever be. And when you are whole and you decide to put your wholeness with someone else's wholeness, you know, even in marriage, there's still individuality. You know, it's two individuals coming together to create a greater individual, you know. But when you're not comfortable with just being in your single space, you will rush to think that you have to have someone in your space, you know, because this is what's making me whole. Nope, that's not it. That person will never satisfy what's within you, what's the void within you. That's up to the individual to do. And I think that women, sometimes we don't, it's good to hear this conversation from both of you, because sometimes we don't think that men really feel this way and go through these series of emotions, that you're aware of these cycles. Because from the outside, it looks like y'all just having, you know, a good old time. And, you know, and we deal with that cycle differently, because if a woman is dating multiple men or jumping from man to man to man to man, we get labeled in a different kind of a way. Whereas the man gets patted on the back, women, we get, kind of labeled and put to the bottom. You get labeled as easy. So that whole dynamic is different from both sides. But we're still both walking around wounded and not taking the time to satisfy ourselves and fix what's wrong with us. So I want to ask you both this question as we get ready to wrap up. I hope you've been enjoying this conversation. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. You both walked this journey of being in relationships, being married, being divorced, and you both got into the space where you have embraced, you hit that wall. For you both, it was God that came in and peeled you off the wall. Said, okay, you ready now? Like inside, and I know because I've been there. I've been in the wall several times. God was like, okay, well, you're gonna keep running into the same wall. Are you tired of this wall? Are you tired? Let me know when you're tired. I'm like, God, I think I got one more round with the wall. He's like, okay, I'm gonna wait for you right here. I'm telling my own story. I'm just saying.
At the same wall. Matter of fact, let me paint it for you for it to look like a different wall.
He didn't even do that. He didn't, because he's like, I don't want you to be deceived, thinking that you gained a little something that you changed, because you ain't changed yet. It's still the same wall, daughter. What we doing? So apparently you like this cycle. So I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you get to the end of yourself, and you let me know when you're tired. It's like the little kid when you take him to the park. My son used to have a lot of energy. We would never leave the park. I wasn't ready. As long as he was running, we wasn't ready.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to go, I had to wait until I had to go pick him up off the floor, find him in the corner of the park somewhere, laid out. I'm like, okay, we ready now. That's how God had to do with me. Yeah. And let me get to the end of my whole self. But in your journey of shifting, and like I said, and God peeling you off the wall, and you both pausing finally at this juncture to take that time for yourselves. What is the greatest lesson that you learned in that space of singleness and being okay with where you are? Either one of you can start.
Brother Chris, you go first.
Hey, I was letting you go because I've been running my mouth.
I feel like I've been running mine. So there you go.
That's what y'all here for. You're here to talk.
Well, I mean, I think the benefit is when you as a man finally get to that space, you really understand your priorities. You really know what you want. You're very clear. It's fogged up and all these distractions are all in your face. You're very aware. It strengthens you emotionally. It strengthens you mentally. You're able to put your broken pieces on the table, and you're able to deal with those emotions and deal with those issues as you grow in your single season. Even if you're in a situationship and all this other stuff, it's the same thing. You have to understand when we get to that point, a lot of us, all we want is just peace. That's the greatest thing a man wants in his life is peace. And if we can keep peace without you, sorry to say it, but it is what it is. If we can have peace without you, we'll choose peace any day of the week. I'm just saying, I don't care how fine you look. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care what house you live in. None of that matters. And then that's always seems to be another thing too, but we're not talking about that tonight. But all I'm saying is we don't care about none of that. All we want is peace. And if we can have peace and equality on both fronts, I'm not saying everything's going to be bubbly and rosy. I'm not saying we're going to always have rainbows and frolic in the grass and all this stuff. That's movie stuff. But what I am saying is if we cannot have an adult conversation, if we can't be together and grow together, then I might as well stay by myself. I'm just saying. So that's my 5 cents. I'm done. That's
good. Come on, Corey.
Okay, can you repeat the question so I can answer accurately? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm about to just start answering out for what Chris said, and I ain't gonna answer the question.
That's okay too. But I was asking, really, what is the greatest lesson that now that you've gone through this journey, these different phases of transitioning, and you're at this space of being comfortable in your singleness. And security and singleness looks different for everyone. But it sounds and it seems like you both are in a secure place of your singleness. You're not afraid to be alone. You're whole in that space. What is the greatest benefit that you found in being secure in this single time, in your singleness?
I found that I can save $5,000 in little or no time.
That's real.
Man, you know how much money I done saved. I mean, we spend a lot of money on females unconsciously. You know, I didn't even care about it. But no, what I learned, my greatest lesson is I was a hot mess, and I messed up a lot of the lives of women with my hot mess of a life that I was living. I played with a lot of hearts of women who truly loved me and cared for me when my love was for this one woman. And I never acknowledged that I truly love one person. But though we can't be together, I'm messing with all of these women and they truly love me, but I can't love them the way I love her because she must have put something in my food or something, because I don't even do that. But I would always tell her, you put something in my food, because I care so much for her. And I did get to tell, apologize to one of the women, because no matter how long it takes, what you sow, you are going to reap. Or what you did is going to happen to you. Or what came around goes around, however you want to say it. Payback is coming. And it came to me and it hurt real bad. And the first thing that popped in my head when I experienced it is, this what you used to do to women. The way I felt, and it wasn't even as bad as what I used to do. This was the third wife. This was that lesson from the devil. No, I'm just, but it wasn't. I mean, and she didn't even cheat on me. This is how fragile some men are. I just saw a text message from another dude, which was her first baby daddy, and just the anger that rose up in me. Because I'm living life with you, we married, I'm being faithful, and I'm all this right. But that history of me defiling women and doing all this and lying and cheating and backbite. Oh no, today's the day, brother. Payback is today. And when it hit me, man, I couldn't handle it. This is why a lot of times brothers, after a woman cheat on him, he done. Because we can't handle it. We don't have that motherly instinct or whatever y'all got that make y'all accept the brother. We ain't got that.
I don't got it either. I don't have that gene.
A lot of women have it, but we ain't got it.
Yeah, I was wrong with that.
Oh, but I learned a lot about myself, and it that helped me. And it's all God. I don't give no credit to myself. That helped me to be still by myself and get to know myself. And then getting to know myself, I fell in love with myself. And I'll be trying to cheat on myself. That's why can't nobody get in. I be like, nah, you are the devil. Nah, you cost too much to go out with. Nope, you know how much I pay to go to the show? $6. If I have you, that's $12. And then I got to, man, I just all this money I'm saving, man. I ain't playing. Because I used to spoil, because when I'm with a woman, I spoil her. I love the women that I like to see women smile. Not trying to buy no woman. I'm not a simp or nothing like that, but I'll bring you some roses. No woman told me I don't really like roses. Okay, you will never get another rose from me. You will never get a flower. You will never get nothing with an F. When you reject me, that's all I need. You might well leave me alone.
You wasn't even gonna ask. Maybe she liked a different kind of flower. It wasn't even.
No, she said she don't like flowers, and I understood. It was cool because I used to women like flowers. I thought a lot of women do, a lot of women don't, and so really? I would buy flowers. Then she told me she didn't like flowers. Then she told me why, and it made sense. About they die and somebody her grandmother or something. Anyway, I found out what she did like. She liked other stuff. And simple stuff. It wasn't even nothing major, it wasn't nothing costly. She was, anyway, we ain't talking about her. How y'all doing?
Corey got lost. It's okay. I get it. I get it.
He's about to hit them keys playing that song.
He started to sing a song. He started like the hit go.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. That's good. I appreciate that. Let me see. We got Auntie Grace is in the house. Hey, Auntie Grace, Ron Thomas. To look at you now. The truth has set you free. Auntie, listen, you know. See, she know my story. They've seen me go through my transitions. Oh my God. Yeah. It ain't. I'm total improper English. It ain't just y'all. Okay. It ain't just y'all. Yeah. I've been through some stuff. I took, yes, Auntie, the truth has set me free and free indeed. And I plan on staying free. Absolutely. I might be too free sometimes, because I'm going to tell you straightway. It might take me a minute. I've learned to sit back and listen and have hard conversations. It takes me a moment to process stuff. So I'm not quick to jump to address things all the time, because I got to process it in my own mind. But that's also that's something that I learned in my singleness, that I had to learn how to calm down. Mm-hmm. I had to, as a woman, I had to learn how to calm down, think it through, hear it out, address it properly. Because at the end of the day, you want to be heard. At the end of the day, you're not trying to hurt and offend the person that you're with. When we're together, we're not enemies. We're not supposed to be enemies. We should not be enemies. It should never come to. I don't care how much trauma, you've been through. I don't care what kind of situations that you've gone through. The person you're with should never make you feel like you are at odds with each other internally. I'm not saying you won't have disagreements. I'm not saying that we won't not see eye to eye. I'm not saying that we won't even be on opposite sides of the spectrum. What I am saying is, even with our differences, you should never feel like my enemy, and I should never feel like yours. And when we feel like that, it's a problem. And I found that getting into that space, in my singleness and in my time, spending that time with me. That's right, Auntie. Wait on God. I had to wait on God to deal with Dawn about Dawn stuff, and how Dawn is showing up and how Dawn is being represented. In my singleness, I had to heal myself from some things. And I say that because not everything is the next person's job to heal within you. There's some stuff that you have to, like, it's not fair for me to dump all my wounds, just bring my broken pieces and put them at your doorstep. There's some stuff that I have to, had to work on my own, so that when you are showing up, you are representing, you're showing up in a different way. It's one thing if you show up whole, yeah, you have some scars and some bruises and some wounds, and yeah, I still got this, and but I'm on my path to healing. But it's another thing when you show up just completely in shambles, not together at all, just expecting the next person to just take all your stuff and fix what you allowed the last person to break. That's a whole different thing. And women, we have to be mindful that it is not fair for us to do that to men, because men are struggling with their own singleness and working out their own secure spaces, and they have their own wounds. And so you have to show up as the person that you would want to see, be the reflection of what you want to see in someone else. And don't be afraid to be it first. I'm gonna love you first. Somebody got to go first. So I'm going to put my feelings to the side to help strengthen you, because I firmly believe, as a woman, when we come and help and strengthen our men, it's going to come back. It comes back to you. The stronger you are, because you're the head and you're the cover, so I'm not at a loss by helping you first, because it only benefits me later in the end, but you got to be secure in who you are, so I want to thank you, gentlemen, for sharing on tonight about being secure in your singleness. Y'all have taken this on a whole journey tonight. I love it. You're taking a whole journey. We touched on so many things. This was like a whole, what they call that, a master class. I can't wait to have y'all come back. I love the men's lounge, because there's not too many spaces where men are really allowed to just talk freely and just talk about what's on your heart. Just talk about it. And put it out there. Cheryl Green says, I think the best comment tonight is when he said, learned about himself as his greatest lesson learned. Amen. I agree. You know, that for you, when you learned about yourself in your singleness, and that is a amazing comment to make. And ladies, it is encouraging, I want to say, to hear men talk, because a lot of us are walking around saying, I shared this with a girlfriend today. I said, we walk around talking about there's no good men, there's no good men. And that's a lie from the pit. There's a lot of good men, but you will never find them if you're thinking that there are none. Because every man that you look at, you're going to think he's not good, you know. So when we change our mindset, we can't expect men to be perfect while we're broken.
Yeah. And I found out, you know, because I have a lot of female friends, you know, that I just, my friends, and they have these misconceptions about men that society have put out there. You know, one of the biggest one is that this fascination with sex that they think all men have, but, you know, that's not every man, and it's probably not in the man you're really looking for.
That's major. That's a major.
Because as Brother Chris was alluding to, when something going on in his mind, he ain't thinking about that. You know, he don't want to touch you. He don't want you touching him. And real men function like that. I ain't thinking about sex. Now you get them other type of men who it don't matter anywhere we at. Yeah, give me some. But real men who focus on situations and circumstances and problems and issues, you know, baby, I need to talk right now. You know, it's different. And it's so much that I've heard women say about men. I'm like, yeah, that's not true about all men. You know, I know a whole bunch of brothers that's not it. That's the caliber of man you messing with. You know,
well, you can't want a good man and you're not a good woman. What does that? What, you know, like, what do we? It has to be balanced. Like, you want a good man for what? Because he's gonna show up in your life as a good man, and you're gonna do something to ruin him, and then he's not gonna be a good man, and you're gonna send him back out to the streets. Well, now you just ruined another good man, ladies, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of women, and y'all can't kick me out of the women's club because that's what God made me. It's just too bad. It's what it is. You know, I believe in holding us accountable as well. Like, it works. It works on both sides. You know, if you want a good man, then you show up as a good woman. Yes, love is risky. There's a risk to it. I'm taking a risk that you're going to be who you say you are, that you're going to be who you're showing me to be, you know, and I'm going to show up being me 100%, you know, and then some. But you can't sit up here talking about there are no good men. And like you were saying, you know, and how are you showing up? When you get a good man, or when you see a good man, what do you have to offer him? How are you showing up? That's going to make him want to add you to his life. He has worked hard to become a good man for himself. And like y'all were talking about earlier, your peace. Do you think that a man, and you've heard it from the men, don't care how pretty you are, how size 6 you are, how long your hair, your weave, whatever, your face is beat to the gods and all of that. If all of that is going to cost them their peace, this is what they said. You can have all that beauty, pack it up, take it back home. Because that's not what they looking for.
This is what I hear a lot of women saying too. Why is it, they ask me, why is it when I'm looking my worst, in their opinion, all the men try to talk to me? I'm like, well, what's your worst? I don't have on no makeup. I don't have no, my hair ain't done. I say, because that's naturally you.
That's
and
you.
People trying to talk to you like that. Them people, you should see what they're talking about, because all of them want that superficial. This man is attracted to the natural you, and you don't even like the natural you. You saying it's ugly, but he trying to talk to you. So
that's true. That's true. It happens. Yeah, we do. It's like, why on the day, you know, when got on the sweats and the hairs up in the ponytails on laundry day and stuff, you know, like, what is that? What is that? Like, why in the world?
Because I see you, man. You
yes.
I'm looking at, girl, you fine. So I know when you enhance that, oh my God. That's
that part.
Ladies, you heard it here. You heard the answer to the question. So we should be asking that question no more. Yeah, because, you know, women, we like to put effort into what we do. See, at 8:30, it always turns. It's 8:30. We have turned the corner. It's now Lady Dawn B after dark. Is what we talking. It's all right. Hey, Von Eric, blessings to you. So glad you popped in on tonight. It's another member of our men's lounge. But no, that's a good. I'm glad you brought that up. It's a good point, and it's because women, we feel like we always want to present ourselves with our best foot forward, and I know you do as men as well. But women, like, you want to look your best on your man's arm. You want to represent him well at all times. So when we are not together the way that we feel we should be together, it's like, yo, are you serious, dude? Like, you talk like, sir, I'm doing my laundry. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I did not. I threw on my t-shirt and, you know, my leggings and the sneakers. I ain't even got my real sneakers on. You know, just hair just pulled up and whatever. You know. And I think because of the way society has made it, we feel that we have to be all dolled up in order to catch your eye, because that's what we see the most. And that's what a lot of men comment on. But I think I'm learning to understand that men may be commenting on the appearance, but you're really looking for the content of what's inside. So we can't get caught up in the comment.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of our content.
Because this is what happens a lot with people. They call it catfishing. They see all these ladies dialed up every day. Every time we go out, every time I come get you, you got your makeup, you got your terrible eyelashes. No, I'm sorry, that's me. But you got all this stuff on. That's all I ever see. And then one day, something happened, whereas you can't put that stuff on. Oh, could you come get me? Because I come over there. Girl, I didn't know you had them raccoon eyes. See, now you better get offended because I finally see you for who you are, and I don't like it. So you gotta come out of that facade that you're putting on, because you done created this other person and believing it's you. I guess that's what they're doing, because I know women who can't walk out the house without beating or whatever they call it. They whole face. I'm like, why do you have to look like that every day? These not people I've dated. These are just friends that I try to help.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, you can give your face a breather or something. You have to put on makeup. But these are people with low self-esteem. Their confidence is low, and they don't think they look like anything. And they, as you said, they allow society to tell them what they're supposed to look like, even with as far as the hair is concerned. I'm like, well, let your hair breathe sometime. Why don't you just cut all your hair off like me and Chris? Because you never wear it.
My God. What you gonna say, Pastor Chris? What you gonna say? Because I see you over there.
No, I was agreeing. I was agreeing with CT in regards to what we see. Now, it's been promoted as if we want perfection. That's not the case. You know, and when we see you in your natural, as they say, your natural space, you get more. Okay, I'm gonna say this. It's after 8:30. I'm gonna say this. Why do females get upset when we shoot our shot in your natural space? They get mad. Why are you talking to me? Wait. Time out. First of all, let me get the fire extinguisher and cool you off, because you're a little too hot at the mouth. First of all. Second of all, I see you for who you are. You don't have to be all dolled up. You don't have to look like this and that. You're looking like you. That's why I said hello. That's why I said, wow, you look very attractive today. That seems to be an Achilles heel. Like, it's like, okay, so you rather me holler at you and 15,000 other dudes holler at you when you all dolled up, but then the dude that hollers at you without all that, you cut them down or shut them down. That makes no logical sense to me whatsoever, but it happens. But yet we're in preseason of cuffing season. I'd rather have a natural person than somebody all weaved out and maked up out and all that stuff. Because like CT said, there are women that go to sleep all made up. They sleeping like this.
That's too much work.
And if you want to wear the weave or the wigs and stuff, that's fine for somebody. But all I'm saying is, come out of it sometimes. Yeah. Try to wear your hair for a month and see. If you can't do that, you really have a problem internally, because that's who you are up under there. I'm not talking about anybody with a condition or nothing like that. I'm talking about you with naturally nice hair. You told I just don't want to do it. Wear your hair for a month. And if you could do that, then you've got a different problem.
Hold on. Coach Pache says, not all women. Hold on. I'm sorry. She has her comments don't pop up for some reason. She is our Monday night host. Monday Be on the Mic. She says, not all women. She said that part way too much. She said, I'm sleeping with my mouth open. I'm sleeping with my mouth open and everything. See, me and my girls, we natural. We keep it real. And I'm not saying that I don't have some that do that. But we team natural. We are 200%. Listen, I am who I am. I need you to see why. I need you to understand this is what you're going to get. Because, right, I don't want you to wake up one day and be in total shock and scared and running out there calling the police saying there's a stranger in my house. I want you to do that, and it's important. But a lot of times, to answer your question from a woman's perspective, it is hard for us to believe that you like or are attracted to, embrace and accept things about us that we struggle with, things about us that we don't like. And that's the honest truth. And I'm just saying it so that you understand, so that as men, hopefully with that understanding, maybe find a better way to address us, to bring it back to, because we need to be affirmed as well, in those spaces where, I'm not feeling comfortable with, with this, or, when I show up this way and no, I don't like this about myself. And to think that somebody actually loves, embraces, and appreciates those spaces as a woman, when we are taught that we have to be a certain way or show up be a certain picture, in order to be accepted, loved, and appreciated. That's a main reason why we struggle with, and maybe not all, but some. I'm just, and I can speak for me, I'm like, that's for me, that's one of the things. I'm like, really? You like that? Okay. I'm not going to keep asking you about it in the back of my head. I'm like, all right, well, but knowing that you like something about me that I struggle with helps me to embrace that part of myself that I'm still trying to adjust to and learn to like. I was like, how do you love the parts of me that I hate the most?
Let me show you, girl. I'm gonna show you how I love it. You tell me.
Stop.
I'm gonna show you, girl. I'm gonna make you stop asking that question. You gonna be like, girl, he love me.
Coach Pache says that's good. She said that's good. But it's the truth. It's what happens. A lot of times with us as women, if we can get to that place of just so that, again, so that you understand that's why we struggle. We struggle with that part because it's hard for us to believe, like, out of all these women out here and all these things, because again, society and what we see and what we show and what y'all like, it's like, I don't compare to that, but I do understand with men, if that's what you wanted, that's what you would have went for.
Yeah,
that's what you would be going for. And I get that,
Society be lying. A lot of men don't like what society say we like. And, found out that when you tell women exactly what you like you're saying right now, they don't believe. How could you like that? I'm in my dirty sweatpants and I ain't showered. And then, because this one lady I told, she like, this, it was a friend of mine too. She's in Arkansas. So anyway, she sent me a picture of her. Because I told her one day, I said, man, I was thinking about you today. She's like, well, here go an ugly picture of me. She was out, no makeup, and she don't wear weave anyway. But I like, girl, you put me on your mind even more, because this is beautiful. This is the natural you. And she couldn't understand. She's like, how are you saying that's beautiful? I'm like, because look at you. She's like, but I ain't got on no makeup. I said, let me just tell you, I'm looking dead in your eyeballs. You have the most beautiful eyes. Those don't need makeup. Look at your smile. You got the beautiful, stuff that you can't change unless, you get your eyes knocked out. But I'm saying the things you think I'm looking at, I'm not looking at. I'm not looking at your hair and your makeup. I'm looking at your eyes and your smile and listening to your laugh. Those are the things that got my eyes glittering.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I think with that too is because we as women, don't take the time to pause in the mirror in the morning we rush past the mirror. It's something that I've learned to do, and I said this on another show. Coach Pache also says most men, to partner with what Corey is saying, most men like natural. She said they like to play with the manufactured. Come on, sis, talk about it. But women, a lot of times, I don't know, and again, not as Pastor Chris says, some, not all, but we rush past the mirror in the morning, like fresh out of the bed. We and we don't take a minute to stop and really just look at ourselves in the mirror silently. Just look at you. We do that after we've beat our face and got our hair perfect, to the way that we want it. And then we'll go have a reflective moment. So because we're rushing past what you're saying, that you're pausing and appreciating, we don't know how to register that because we haven't registered it for ourselves. So women have to learn how, I think all women, I had to learn how to stop and look at myself in the mirror, not pick myself apart, but find something every day to embrace and celebrate. Don't, you got pretty eyes. Look at your eyelashes. Your hair is crazy, but look at it. It's curly. You know what I'm saying? Find something about yourself to like and to love. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself you're amazing. Tell yourself, your worth, whatever it is. Women, we have to start doing this because you can't wait for a man to do it for you. Mm-hmm. Because when a man does say it, you don't believe it. We don't believe it because we haven't told it to ourselves. I don't think anybody should be coming to tell you that you're beautiful. And I don't mean this in any conceited way, but a man should be affirming what you already know. Yeah. I don't take it as, I'm not cocky, but when I walk out the door, some men would think that, them saying, you pretty sis or whatever, okay, hey, beautiful, or whatever. It's like, okay, thank you. And I keep it pushing, if that be the case. They'll take that as cocky. It's like, no, it's not that. But I left the house and made sure that I looked away when I said to myself, you're good. You look pretty. You're affirming. And I'm not saying this, so please take it as spiritual giving. Like, I know I looked pretty when I left because that's why I left. Because I got, what I'm saying? I got myself together to leave and be happy for me. I'm not doing it for you to say it. Yeah. I'm doing it for me. And women, we have to start being happy with how we look for ourselves. So when a man is giving those compliments, it's affirming.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I have another friend. And you saying that exact same thing. This brother was like, she told me, she's like, this guy gonna tell me I'm pretty, and then get mad at me because I didn't say thank you. He's like, you ain't gonna say thank you. She said, for what? He's like, because I said you're pretty. She's like, I know that. I don't need you to tell me that.
Right. It is not being cocky. I mean, you still need to be gracious and humble about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be rude. But some men, when they come off like that, they saying it because they thinking that you suffering with like low self-esteem and you didn't know what you look like. Bro, I knew I was together when I walked out the door. Thank you. But, but it's important, but you don't walk around cocky about it.
Well, those are the type of, that's another type of woman that I used to date, the ones that are beautiful and do know it. I dated one woman and I noticed I was like, I noticed you never look in the mirror. She said, for what? I said, to see how she look. She's like, boy, I know I'm fine. I don't need no mirror to tell me that. That's the confidence, cockiness, insecure, because she was super insecure too. Light skin, green eyes, beautiful. I used to always go after the difficult women, the ones that people thought were difficult, but God gave me a gift to break them down. But anyway, she just seemed so confident when I met her. I was like, man, I don't know how you could be single. 30 days later, I was telling her, I know exactly why you're single. You crazy.
Because we all have those hidden insecurities that, again, represent themselves as confidence. Mm-hmm. But even because women like that, and no disrespect, but women like that, you cannot mask. You're not happy with yourself.
Exactly.
Because when all you have is your looks on the outside, no one wants to hear what you have to say. Like, they're not interested in what are your thoughts today. They're not asking you, how was your day? They're not asking you, what are your dreams and aspirations? How can I help you grow and build? No one cares because they don't want you for content. They want you for what's on the outside, because that's what you're leading with. And that's what you're showing. As you're insecure in who you are, you think you're not enough as is internally. So you got to work the assets that you have, which are external, you know. And I don't care. Like, listen, I'm Team Thickums all day, every day, and I ain't mad about it. But I had to learn that, guess what? And I used to think that it was, you know, the issue is because I'm not built like a size 6. Okay, I don't have to be. But when I started realizing that, hey, you know what? This size 6, you just as single as I am. We in the same space. So it ain't that. You know, we have to stop comparing. And women, we are insecure. We start looking at other people to compare ourselves to get the attention of men, and all of us are getting it wrong, because y'all saying that's not even what you're interested in. Y'all are saying you're more concerned about what's within you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Oh Lord, Michelle, nobody's talking about.
I don't know. You see, me and Chris don't know about the toupees. We confident in what we
don't.
This is the we ain't talking about men and toupees. This is the men sharing their thoughts. They are secure in.
We would talk about it if we knew about. I could talk about the dye I be doing. You know, all the women tell me they love my gray, but I said when I get 60, I'll let it go gray. I got 5 more years. I'm 55, so it just make me look too old. So that go my issue I deal with, you know. But no, I will wear it. You know, I went a whole year with it gray, so I don't, you know, have an insecurity where I won't. But you know, when I do, because I do a lot of shows and stuff, and so, you know, it's a certain look that I want for me. And see, it's not for anybody else. It's for me,
right?
You know, because everybody else want me to wear the gray, so I don't care what people think. They all want me to wear the gray, and I'm like, no, I don't.
Happy. Listen, you earned your gray, rock your gray. You know, but like you said, but it's whatever makes you feel comfortable and whatever makes you feel secure. Because when you,
I see you, Chris.
Come on, Salt and Pepper, come through.
I'm coming way through. My goodness.
Right, show up. You earned it. Yeah. Definitely.
I'm gonna be like Moses. I'm gonna be like Moses when he saw the burning bush. And I'm already. Anyway, be quiet. But yeah, just to comment on Miss Michelle real quick, and then I know you got the final question to ask. I know that there are some, not all men, that are into. Now we have male weave. When I interviewed somebody like a couple of years back, that was the new thing. Like,
what's that?
But that's what male weave. Like they got this little thing where it's kind of like a lace front.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I see that.
That is so nice.
Actually lays on your head. Actually, a lot of Hollywood actors that are actually bald wear it. So this is where we're getting this idea from. The toupee used to be, okay, I got hair right here, and then you put the hair on the top. You still look like a hot mess. But these things now, it look like you got a real.
Oh, no, I've seen. I seen one that actually looked real nice on this brother after he did it. Because when he first put it on there, it looked like it's all over. Yeah. In the barber get the line. I like, man,
get the line up.
I would never do it, but it looked.
No, yeah, you got to walk in your confidence. See, this is what I'm saying. So some men don't let it go either. Like, you know, you got some men that'll have the hairline going all the way back and they still getting the edge up. Like, bruh, cut it. I was one of them. I was one of them too. I ain't want to let go of my hair, and my hairline kept going further and further back. I said, I gotta let it go. So to answer your question, not all men are into toupees, even if you become 50, 60, 70. All of that is just, again, superficial. You got to know who you are as a man. And if you are good being bald and gray, it is what it is. If you good being bald with color, whatever, if that's what you like, that's what you like. It is what it is. So men have insecurities also. So it's not always the women, because some men want to, you know, I want a 6-pack, but sorry, can't get it. You know, I want to, you know, be cut like a certain guy or whatever. Sorry, I can't do that. I got a lot of things going on. So, but other than that, I'm in good health. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sloppy by no means, but you know, I want to be, you know, want to have them guns and all that stuff. But hey, look, I'm over a certain age. After a while, all that you got to constantly maintain and all that stuff and eat right and all that. Anyway, let me be quiet. Okay, it's after 8:30. But anyway, I'm sorry. I just went off on a tangent. So back to you. I'm done.
Yeah.
I want to thank you, Chris and Corey, for sharing on tonight. You never know what's going to happen on Thursday nights. I swear I love it here. There's no other place I would rather be. For real, for real. Thank you all. Thank you both for coming on and for sharing from the male perspective. We're talking about Single in September. The last 2 weeks we have been sharing about singleness not being a disease and marriage not being a cure, trying to encourage people to get whole, get straight, do you in your single season, build up who you are, so that when you do get to the place where you have met the one that you want to connect with on a long-term basis, you are both showing up as complete, whole, solid individuals so that you can create an even stronger individual unit together. So with that being said, I want to give space for you gentlemen to have your final comments and thoughts on tonight. Encourage somebody on this evening. I'm going to start with Corey, and then we're going to go to Chris, and then I'm going to give us our announcement and wrap it up.
Well, talking about singlehood, as she was saying, being single is a great thing. Being married is a phenomenal thing. When you're married to a partner, I was married 15 years and it was beautiful for 13 of them. But being single is just as valuable, because once you learn that space of peace, and once you learn that space of not having to run out every weekend to go somewhere, and you can just enjoy yourself, then you find yourself ready and able to weed out those relationships that you was getting in times past when you didn't have that peace within. Now those people can't even get into your life, and it helps you get to that one that God has prepared for you even quicker without all the nonsense in between. And so I just encourage you to be content. If you're single, be content. And you're married, either way, be content within yourself. You know, and if it's with you, that's fine, but make sure you're doing it for you, not for anybody else. That's all I'm saying. The women who don't do it for themselves, you know, they're thinking about what other people are gonna say. Now that's what I can't. You're doing it for you, we good. That confidence, I kind of like it. Just wrap it up for me though, so I won't have to see it and it get all over my car. No.
My God. Come on, Chris, before Corey get himself in trouble.
Oh, well, yeah. I have something short and sweet. I don't have nothing too long, but basically, in this phase, being single, again, you have to know your worth. If you don't know your worth, if you don't know who you are, male or female, that means you need to stay single and work on some stuff. Stop making people force you to do something that you're not ready for. Been there, done that. Don't put yourself in situations where you know you're not ready for. If you still got an attitude, or you still mouthing off, male or female, that means you need to work on yourself. If you can't communicate effectively and you always have to come out with anger and rage, you have to find yourself a space where you can correct yourself. See, that's male or female. So true love is developed, right? It's not rushed. It's not microwaved. It doesn't have a J.G. Wentworth anointing. You can't just get it now. Please consider, ladies and gentlemen, that it's a marination.
Yeah.
That means process. So I'll say it one more time and I'm done. True love is developed. It's not rushed. It's not microwaved. It's not the J.G. Wentworth anointing. Please consider marination, because that will give you the ultimate line of success. So this is your boy, the Psalmist Voice, aka Pastor Christopher Newton, and I'm done. Back to you.
Well, thank you both for sharing your thoughts and feelings on tonight. I just want to encourage you all to enjoy and embrace your singleness, developing who you are. Marriage is not the end goal. Wholeness is. And when you show up and do the work in your singleness, when you do the work in your singleness, you will show up in a marriage space even better. Yes. So enjoy you. Learn to enjoy you and be all that you can be. As I always say, go be great. You are all right. There's nothing missing, nothing broken. You are whole and amazing exactly as you are, as is. So thank you for joining us on tonight for the Men's Lounge, talking about being single in September. Singleness is not a disease. Marriage is not the cure. Be awake. Cuffing season is upon us. Fluffy Nation, stand up. Hoodies are coming soon. Okay, check on your fluffy friends, 2X and up. Make sure that they're not falling for the okie doke in this season, getting wrapped up with somebody for a couple of months, thinking that it isn't forever love. Don't fall for the trickery. But join us next Thursday as we wrap up this month about being single in September. We are talking about transitioning from singleness to marriage, and we will be having Bishop Prophet Michael Claiborne, the relationship coach, as our special guest, and hopefully we will have more of our Thursday night crew here with us. So again, like, subscribe, and share. Meet us back here at 7 p.m. next Thursday to wrap up September. Don't forget to hop on Monday night to join Coach Pat Shea and Dr. Elaine for Mondays Beyond the Mic. Pastor Sheila is always on sharing some good stuff here. Go across the street to Sheila Ingram Ministries to get your good word, your good inspiration, and your good songs for the day. I love you all. Be blessed. Have a great night. Invite, like, and share. Bring a friend next time. Have a great night, fellas. Hang out with me for a minute as we close the show. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Why my phone was documenting everything you were saying? The microphone was on. All right. Good night, everybody.
Hang tight, guys. Hang tight.
For my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a jotter, pop out like a cutter. Telling the quick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogie shoes in my diddy boots, ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'm gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my